Uh, Hello, everyone, from wherever you're watching. We are glad that you're still alive in this tough time of the pandemic, the coronavirus. You need to keep safe, keep washing your hands, put on your mask, and of course, go and get vaccinated. With me today is one of Uganda's best midfielders. Of course, many call him the midfield general. Others call him TM6. Let's welcome Tonny Mawejje. Some call him Tonny Mawejje. Tony, say hello to our viewers out there on Kawowo Sports.
Yeah, hello to everyone. I'm so happy to be in front of the cameras right now. Everyone watching, wherever you are, I'm saying how are you, and it's good that you are there.
That's good. Tony, you've been one of arguably the best footballers that this country has had in the previous years. What inspired you to take on football as a career?
First of all, I grew up, like from childhood, I grew up playing football. So being a Masaka born and watching always Villa players come play football from Masaka Education Ground. So I was inspired by some Villa players. Two of them, one is Edgar Watson and Magumba. But again, I grew up hearing a lot on the radio, over the radio. My elder brother used to have a small radio, and we could always hear sports. And whenever he could speak about Majidu Musi. So I was always inspired. I wanted one time also my name to be over the radio, like I've always had Majidu Musi's name.
By the way, while growing up in Masaka as well, I thought Majidu Musi and Maradona played for the same team, because every time the name Maradona came up, name Majidu Musi would come up as well. We are going to first sort the club career. You've played for Masaka C, you've played for KCCA, you've played for Police, among others, and of course in Europe as well, and in Asia and the Arab countries as well. What drives you to get up and go to training every day, especially at club level, because that's where training is almost every day?
Yeah, always. I personally, I want to always be on the starting lineup. I've never been in a team, and I'm regarded as a substitute player. So whenever I think about retaining my position in a team, it drives me so much to go and train even more harder and make even extra training, so that I beat my
competitors to
exactly
the position as well.
Definitely.
So you're born a winner. Of course, you've played football for over 20 years now, because I remember while in Masaka Secondary School, you made your Premier League debut while still a student. I remember Masakero say against Chinyala.
Yes.
What's the secret for longevity? Because you've seen players play 2, 3, 5 years and then they are off the scene. But you've played for 20 years. What's the secret?
I think it's all about self-discipline and love of what you do, because it makes you stay fit and in shape. So with the longevity, you have to always be focused, training hard and eating well. Like if you go away from such, then you can't play for so long.
And then did you at any one time, while starting your football career, think about quitting? Because you've seen players, so many, including some of your former teammates at Masaka C, that never took football seriously after a few years. Have you ever thought about quitting, or did you ever think about it in your early stages?
Not in the early stages, because in my early stages I felt I had a dream. So I felt I cannot quit football before achieving what I always wanted. But lately, maybe you feel like I've achieved most of the things I ever wanted in football, and I've grown up. Then why don't I quit? So that feeling comes lately, but not before when I was still pursuing my dream.
So you've always been focused to be a professional footballer?
Yeah, definitely.
And then I remember back then, I think 2004, you left Masaka C
Yes.
for KCCA.
Yeah.
However, there were reports that we are joining Villa after playing for the under-20. Most of the teammates, Amlan Mokasa,
Danobote.
Joseph Danobote, all went to Villa.
Yeah.
There are reports that we are going to join Villa.
Yeah.
What changed? The listeners out there and the viewers would like to know exactly what made you not to go to Villa Park, yet all the rumors had said so, and then you ended up at Lugogo.
Yeah, actually I went to Villa and trained there for something like 2 weeks. I remember by then Mitchell had just come to Sports Club Villa and he liked me so much to join them. But again, that time it did not go through, that's why I had to go back to Masaka. And our chairman, being a Villa fan by then, Mr. Sempija, he had already made a negotiation with the Villa officials and they agreed on terms for me joining theirs. But again, for them, after talking to our chairman, they were so reluctant to come and speak to me as a player. So in the due course, KCCA approached me as a player and they offered what they wanted to give me and I saw it was good for me. So and Villa did not come to approach me as a player. That's the one mistake they made. And so in that course I joined KCCA because Villa never approached me as a player.
Yeah, I remember in a recent interview with the coach, Mitchell, he said you are one of the two players. He regrets not signing for Villa. You and Joseph Kawaga, Geoffrey Selunkuma. But of course, later in your career, you played under him for the national team.
Yes,
you played over 10 years away from the country, but you returned last year, and of all teams, you opted to play for Police.
Yes.
Why?
First of all, I have big history with Police FC. I won the Sekafa Club Championship with Police.
2006?
2006, yes.
Yeah.
And I'm the very person that scored for them the winning goal. So, and being it that I played for Police as well, and the environment was so conducive for me, the club officials have a very good relationship with them. So I felt like coming back to play for them is really like being home, coming back home. Yeah, so Police was...
It was an easy choice because
Exactly.
I remember teams like Vipers, Villa, KCC all wanted you, but then you opted to go to Police. And then how do you describe your current coach, Abdallah Mbilu, at the club? And how influential was he in you joining them?
Yeah, Abdallah Mbilu is a nice, as in a person. I mean, as a person, is a nice guy. I was with him at KCC when I joined
2004.
2004, when Coach Mike Mutigi was the head coach. He was the assistant, and we had a good relationship with him. He's a good guy, and for me going to Police and he's the head coach, it was like the best thing. Like,
because you had previously worked before, and I remember he was always part of Chibuli SS.
Yes.
And being part of Chibuli SS, it was always competitive playing against Masaka SS then. So he knew you before, and then perhaps a decision was easier made. And then in the game against Bright Stars last season, after scoring that goal, got off your shirt, and under there were words, "The last dance of the midfield general."
Yes.
But of course, a few days ago, you featured in that game against Vipers in the Stampede Ugandan Cup. Was the other one the last dance, or we can still see the midfield general still dancing on the floor?
No. Actually, so many people didn't get it right. I've had a lot of people ask me that question. But the thing is, I wanted to let people know that this is my last season, not that I've
quit the game.
Not in that very game, but it indicated that this is my last season. like on the stage. Exactly. So that's what I wanted people to know. And people are going to continue seeing me this season until it ends.
You mean 2021, 2022?
Yeah, actually my aim was to end it in 2021, 2022, but
2020, 2021.
2020, 2021.
Yes.
That was my target. But again, then COVID came in, and my aim and my purpose of coming back here wouldn't have gotten the meaning. So I decided to extend it to 2021, 2022, so that people see me, my fans, those who enjoy my game, come and see that last dance of me.
Okay, and then that means, are you changing a club, or we're seeing you at Police FC again?
Definitely, I'm still at Police, and I call upon everybody that supports Police and the Tonny Mawejje fans to come always watch Police games, because this is my last season.
All right, and then you've played at IBV Vestamaya, you've played in Tirana, you've played in South Africa with Golden Arrows, played in Qatar recently before you returned to the country. In which country did you enjoy your game the most?
I probably enjoyed my game the most in Iceland. Yeah, because it is the first country I went to in Europe, and they were so welcoming. They loved me as a young boy by then, and the coach really loved me so much, and he had so much hopes in me as a boy, as a young boy, starting boy, to play professional football. So I enjoyed most there, more than other clubs.
And then we've had issues of players leaving the country. And of course, a few years, they are back into the Premier League.
Yeah.
Of course, you're back, but you're back at a stage where you say you've achieved everything playing outside the country. What are the difficulties, especially going to Europe, Iceland? We hear about the weather, the racism and things like that. How was it playing in Europe at Iceland, where some people have failed?
Yeah, I would say definitely it is hard if you go when you're not prepared for it mentally, because definitely we are black, and the racism will always be there. There's no way you can rule it out. It's just that when you are prepared for it, and you know it will be there, so you just ignore. When people try to do things to put you off track, you just ignore. But it is so difficult for guys who go there, and they don't know what happens exactly there, and they are not prepared for it.
So did you ever face any racist abuses while playing in Iceland and other countries?
Yes, definitely in Iceland. There's a certain game. I happened to foul my opponent, and I got to hear the fans of the other side shouting a lot, and good enough they were shouting in a language I didn't really know, and I just got to know about what they said in the newspapers. But again, the federation cautioned them, and they were punished for doing that. Yes, but that's when I faced racism for the first time.
And then how strong were you in reaction after such incident? Because we've seen players, some players have left the pitch, some players have even thought about quitting. Did that ever come across your mind that, hey, maybe it's time to go back to Kampala?
No, not at any time, because first of all, I went focused there. I knew exactly what I wanted to achieve. I knew I was black. For me, when you say I'm black and blah, blah, blah.
That's okay, because you're black.
I'm black. It takes nothing away from me.
Yeah.
So I never even at any time thought of quitting because somebody called me black, because somebody abused me a monkey, or things of that kind. Those are things we've grown up hearing. Even here, somebody of your same color calls you a monkey, and what's different if somebody there calls it to you? So I was focused of achieving my goals, and it never even at any time came into my mind that I should quit or get out of the pitch. I continued to focus, and though it is something, an abuse is an abuse. You don't stay the same, but again, you get over it and focus on what brought you there.
And then while in Albania, I'm lucky that somehow I got to follow you a lot, especially in Albania. But by the time you quit Albania, the fans at KF Tirana, the officials, and everybody at the club still wanted you there. What made you leave?
Yeah, because the offer I got from this last contract I signed, it was really good, and I could not
Turn it down.
yeah, turn it down because it was good for me. And football sometimes is about money, and being the fact that I was in my late years of my career, so I decided to opt for that and leave the fans that really wanted me to stay there and play for them.
And then having played for URA, Masaka, KCCA, Policia, where did you enjoy your game the most, especially in this country?
You said Police, URA?
Yeah, Masaka, KCCA, at club level.
Yeah.
Where did you enjoy your game the most?
I think I enjoyed most at KCCA. Yeah, because I joined KCCA from Masaka, definitely a young boy, and expecting, you have a lot of imaginations and expectations in my head. So I came here and found Coach Mike Mtebe, and he treated us as a family, and I got to learn a lot of stuff from him and from KCCA as a team, that of which some of the things I learned there helped me when I went to Europe.
Yeah.
So I enjoyed most at KCCA.
And then during your club career in Uganda, who are some of those top 3 best coaches that you've worked with?
Best coaches?
Yeah, club-wise in Uganda.
Ugandan coaches?
Yeah.
There's Coach Mike Mtebi. There is I will not rule out Coach George Semogele, because
at
Masaka, he was retiring and he was a coach player. But there is something he installed me. He installed confidence in me, because he told me, don't mind even if you lose the ball. Just
enjoy your game.
Enjoy your game. Do whatever you want to do with the ball. So with such words, I got the confidence, and I think it made me who I am right now. So I can't rule out Coach Semogele. And then did I say Mike, Coach?
Yes, you said Mike.
Yeah, then
now
Sam Timbe. Because this guy also, he gave me a chance to be seen by the Uganda under-20. There's no way I could even feature in the Masaka's team by the time he gave me a chance to play. So when he gave me this chance, it was a golden chance, and it is rare to find a coach to just give you to go and play for
a national team without a club.
Exactly, without a license and nothing like this, and he tells you go and play so that they see you. So this for me, this was a really phenomenon, and those are the 3 coaches.
And then, how is it like playing for? You played for the under-20 and the under-17.
Yes.
All still at school.
Yes.
How was it on returning to school? Because I remember by then, it wasn't easy, like you said, playing for a national team at whatever age without having played in the league. You hadn't, but then you have to go back to school and concentrate on books.
Yes.
What was the feeling like?
The thing is, even the fellow players I was playing with in the school always wanted to know what happens there in the national team. So I was always telling them stories. But again, when it comes to school, they cannot wait for you when it comes to academics. So you have to come, ask for notes, this and that, but sometimes they'll be ahead of you. Yeah, and I thank God that he gave me the talent. Maybe if I was to take the academic side of life would be difficult for me, but I thank God that even the option I took, I don't regret. Yes.
And then who would be in your team? The top 11 players, you may include yourself as well, that you played with in the league, away from the national team, because like I said, we shall have another segment about the national team in particular. The top 11 that you would say, these I played with in league football. Whether in Europe, whether around here, the choice is yours.
Okay, for the goalkeeper, I would. This is a tricky one because some of them I've forgotten the names, but because I can't remember the guys. Most of the guys I played with in the Masaka LOC when I was just starting as a boy. But can you allow me to just pinpoint some of the good players I played with in the league? I think one of them is Mike Selmaga. I played with him in police, then in URA.
Even at URA, yeah.
Yeah, and we really had a very good combination when playing with him in the midfield. And there is also Masa.
Geoffrey.
Simeon Masa.
At police.
At police.
Yeah.
But also with him, we played at police in the same team, and then URA. So I also include him. I remember. There are so many.
You can even include those that the fans out there may not know, but in Europe.
In Europe, I've played with a guy, his name is Andre. He was playing midfield. I met him in IBV. He was the captain, but funny enough, he was always putting on shirt 6. He's the guy that made me not have my shirt 6 when I went there.
I remember you used 15, 14?
15.
Yeah.
At that point, because he was the captain and my aim was to feature in the team, I didn't have any choice. There's no way I could refuse any number that is there. So when they told me 15 is there, I said, no problem, let me just take this. So he was really a good player. Another guy was in Albania also. Not also, but this one was in Iceland, and the other one is in Albania. He was also the captain. He played midfield, but left-footed. His name was Kalabech. Was really good player.
Okay, and then you talked about shirt 6.
Yes.
I remember on your debut for Masaka LOC.
Yes.
It was against Chinyala, if I've not forgotten.
Yeah.
You had shirt 14.
Yes.
You remember that?
Yeah.
But then all of a sudden, 6 becomes your famous number. Everywhere you go, every time you see 6, it's Tonny Mawejje.
Yeah.
What inspired you?
Back in the days, I remember when I first watched football on the TV, I saw Real Madrid play Manchester United. And this was a Champions League game. And there was a guy by names of Fernando Redondo.
The best.
Yeah, he was always putting on shirt 6. So since that day, I was so impressed by his display. And since then, I started admiring that shirt number. And that's why I've always been like putting on that number.
And then, do you have any ritual or something of a good charm that you always do before games?
Not really, but like when I'm on the pitch, I feel so confident if I put my white armbands on the wrists.
Did you ever put a Ugandan flag over there while in Europe?
Yeah, I've ever, but that is just to put an identification for people to know where I come from, because sometimes it gives me joy inside for people. For example, if I'm playing out, for people to know I come from Uganda, I'm a proud Ugandan, so whenever I could put on the flag, the Ugandan flag, I feel so good.
And then in your career in Europe, you played with a couple of Ugandans in the same team. I remember you played with the late Abel Daira.
Yes.
Did you play with Andrew Mwesgu as well?
Mwesgu, yeah.
And then of recent, Yunus Sentam.
Yes.
How does it feel playing on the same team, yet you come from the same nationality?
Yeah, it feels so good. Sometimes you feel so like you are home because you have a guy you can speak with your own language. Yeah. Sometimes you share a lot of where you feel like not contented, you speak to him. It one time happened to me when I was in Iceland. I went to Iceland when there was Andrew Mwesgu in the same team and Agustin Sumba. But time came when they left, and I stayed there for 1 season alone in the team. So it kind of hurt me to be alone in the team. But later on, I got
got used to it, and then
no, I didn't get used to it. Then Abedile joined me, so I felt so good than the other year when I was there alone.
You left the Uganda Premier League, was it which year when you went to Iceland?
I went in 2009.
2009?
Yes.
And then you returned in 2020?
2020.
Yes.
Yes.
What would be the difference that by the time you played before and now the time in terms of the game and how you see fans and the management and of course the coaching as well?
There are a lot of differences. Yeah, because when you look at the year I left, it was so different from now when I came back. At least I think the Ugandan football is kind of going up steps. By the time I was still here, it was kind of low pace in the league, but I found now the pace has gone up. And,
or is it because of age now?
No, not the age. At least where I've been, the pace is really high, even higher than it is here in Uganda. But if I could contain the pace out there, what about here?
And I see you can even still control the game here.
But I think that's the only difference I realized. And again, by then there were not so much tactics, like tactics in the game. But
it was
now,
always 11 against 11.
Even in the warm-up, the training, you see now, there are so many things that have really changed. You find a team that is really organized, the way they dress on the pitch, even in the warm-up, even in the training. Sometimes back in the days, everyone could come with his own jersey, a different color.
You at URA, you're putting on Masaka,
Exactly.
but then you're allowed into training.
But now things are different. Like teams try to be organized. At least they look a little bit more professional than before.
Oh, that's good. And for our viewers out there, that's the club segment for the big man, TM6. You're fortunate, you're still going to watch him play for Police next season. They host their games from Lugogo, so it will always be easy for people to still catch the dance of the midfield general.
The last dance.
The last dance, of course, sincerely, this coming season is going to be the last dance, 2021, 2022. For now, we shall be joining you for the second segment.